I'm James C634, aka the Ginger Otaku. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're talking about flame breathing from Demon Slayer. I'm very excited to talk about this because the Flame Hashira is actually one of my favourite characters, pretty much in all of anime, to be honest, but definitely for Demon Slayer, he is top 2. So, let's talk about the origins of flame breathing, where it came from, who uses flame breathing, what exactly flame breathing is, like what it's based off of, what you're supposed to do using the style, and then we'll talk about the forms that exist for flame breathing. So let's jump straight into talking about something that's very neat, which is the origins plus the fact that this has existed in the Rengoku family since the origins of the breathing style, and it was actually created by one of the Rengoku family. So it's been in their family for generations, which is really, really cool. So where did it actually start? Flame breathing came from when Yoruichi Tsukuni, the progenitor of sun breathing, the very first breathing style, he joined the Demon Slayer Corps and he tried to teach his fellow friends and Corps members sun breathing. Unfortunately, they lacked the natural talent that Yoruichi had to learn it, so he focused on each one's individual weaknesses and strengths, creating their own separate breathing styles, which were later on named down the line by that person. So, by focusing on the member of the Rengoku family, they ended up creating flame breathing from sun breathing, and that is why it is one of the core 5 breathing styles, which it even has its own branch off, which is love breathing. So, now that we've covered that, we're going to talk about what is flame breathing, how does it work? Flame breathing is based off of strong, powerful, singular strikes. That's pretty much it. It's just strong, powerful, singular strikes, and there are 3 known users that we see. Now, a great example of the users, there are 2 Rengoku family members, and then there is another person. So it has stayed inside the Rengoku family mainly, but it has spread out to other members of the Demon Slayer Corps, but it's mainly a staple for the Rengoku family to be using. So, obviously we have Shinjiro Rengoku, who is the current Flame Hashira's father, and he is actually a former Flame Hashira, and he is a retired member. So now we have the current Flame Hashira that we see in the anime, which is Rengoku Kyojuro. Rengoku Kyojuro actually took over his father's spot of Hashira after one day his father was too depressed to go to a meeting, so he showed up in his place, and then all the other Hashira didn't like this, so he was given a test to become a Hashira right then and there, and that's actually how he became a Hashira. He had to defeat a lower rank number 3, I think lower rank 3. I can't think of the exact number now, but he had to fight a lower rank demon that was attacking a nearby village, which was a mission given to him directly by the master of the Demon Slayer Corps, saying that this is your mission to become a Hashira and take your father's spot so that he can retire due to his depression from his wife dying. And now, the 3rd member who can use flame breathing is Mitsuri. She is the... I spaced on her second name, to be honest. It's Mitsuri, the Love Hashira. So she learned flame breathing from Rengoku. We know this because it is covered in the manga. Unfortunately, we don't actually see her ever use it in the anime, but that's probably for the better because we know she wasn't great at it. Otherwise, she would be using flame breathing instead of creating her own breathing style that she adapted from flame breathing. Now that we've discussed the origins, what it basically is, and the users, and a bit more of information of how the current Hashira became the Hashira, let's talk about the forms. So, we know that flame breathing in total has 9 forms, because that's what we see in the movie. In the Mugen Train arc, we see forms 1 to 5, and then we see number 9. Now, you might have noticed that I didn't mention 6, 7, or 8. It's because we don't actually see them. Unfortunately, we only get to see 6 out of the 9, and we only know there's 9 because we see them use number 9. Yeah. So, let's jump straight into it by talking about form number 1. Form number 1 is called Unknown Fire. And this is where the user dashes towards the target and uses a singular horizontal strike. Now, I'm going to go grab the clip from the anime. Here you go. Now, we're on to form number 2, which is Rising Scorching Sun. Rising Scorching Sun is an arching vertical slash in an upward motion, starting in a tail guard. That's the stance that you start with. I don't fully understand what that means. It's based off of Aikido stances, so if you can Google that, or if you know what a Kendo tailguard stance is, that's what it is. Here's the clip from the anime. Okay, now we're on to form number 3, which is Blazing Universe, and this is pretty much similar to number 2, which this one is an arching vertical slash downwards starting in a high guard stance. So this is basically form number 2 in reverse. So instead of starting at the bottom, you start at the top. They're pretty similar in in terms of how they work. Now, we are on to form number 4, the audio cut out. Form number 4 is Blazing Flame Indolation. This is where you slash in a fluid circular motion to defend against incoming attacks or to hit multiple targets. This is form number 5. This is Flaming Tiger. Now this is going to be very confusing because when you see this animation and you also get told that flame effect is a visual effect for us and it doesn't exist in the anime, that is very hard to comprehend because it looks absolutely crisp and amazing, and you see a flaming tiger, how can it not be real? But note that Akuza didn't get burned at all and neither did his clothes. But basically how Flaming Tiger works is where the user dashes forward, performing multiple strikes that surround them in a flaming tiger. Which is the last form, is called Rengoku, which is basically a dash forward, but it's done at an intensity so strong that you put all of your strength into it as sort of a last resort kind of thing, and that is the last move that we see Rengoku Kyojuro perform in the anime, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's basically number 1, beefed up as much as it can be, making it the strongest form out of all of the 9 forms, or at least out of all the 6 forms that we see, but according to the wiki and different information, it actually is the strongest out of all 9. So here's the clip of that. Oogie! やはりお前は鬼になれ、京次郎。では縁柱、煉獄京次郎、九の方、煉獄や。Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is the end of the video. Like I've said, in the next video on Wednesday, we'll be covering Love Breathing. Leave a like, subscribe, let me know what you guys want to see more of, less of. Just let me know. See you in the next one.